Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Just Another Esports Podcast. You're joined by me, your host, Nicholas Shady Bacon. And since Kevin Hubris is back as my co host, you know this is going to be a Call of Duty related episode. And here, as a special guest with his third appearance, we have the man, the myth, the Nebraskan legend, the fastest growing Call of Duty YouTuber, maybe not in statistics, but in our hearts.
In our hearts.
The one, the only, Josh SalvationsElite. How are you doing?
Hey.
Dude, I am doing great, man. I'm excited to be here. Woo!
That
Dude, we're
is
excited to have you.
fantastic to hear. We are extremely excited to have you here, especially after I watched one of your prior podcasts where you all discussed the Call of Duty Cold War beta, and I had some very different takes coming out of that beta. Me, myself, being a much more casual-minded player that I am, as you know, and you being a much more competitive-minded player, putting everything kind of
I mean, you must have been pretty disappointed. There was no battle axes in the beta to work with, so or shovels. So I mean, I don't know.
No, there was a knife. There was a knife.
There was a knife.
Yeah.
There was.
But I only like beating you down with the shovel and the knife, digging your grave there.
Oh yeah, I mean, guys, I'm telling you, everyone out there, terrified. Shady Bacon with a shovel in World War II was probably the most terrifying sight you could have ever seen or witnessed.
Many a times with the.
Is this on the Wii?
No, this is not
on the Wii.
No, Call of Duty has not gone on a Nintendo console since Call of Duty Ghosts.
Ghosts?
That was the last one to be on a Nintendo console.
I mean, did we not play 1v1 shovels only, like CTF?
CTF, Hardpoint, Shipment.
Oh man! Oh yeah, lots
good times. Good times with the shovels and throwing knives.
Hopefully, more to come on Cold War.
Yeah, we'll see. Once we finally eventually get LAN events back, but
right, one day.
That's probably not coming for a good while.
Yeah.
But wanted to discuss the beta, kind of everything about it moving into this Cold War season. I think we'll start off easy. We'll start off with maps firstly, since something probably a little less controversial.
True.
Yeah,
moving from
agree on, I'd imagine.
Yeah, moving from the alpha to the beta, there were some slight changes that we saw. I think primarily on like the Miami map. That was kind of the big one. In the alpha, it was extremely dark and difficult to see people. In the beta, the brightness definitely got turned up. I didn't have
how about
many
we turn the
complaints.
brightness from 3 a.m. to like 2 p.m. Like, can we turn that brightness up? Like daytime, maybe?
I don't think we're gonna have it as a daytime map. I do think this map, it's not like terribly difficult to see people. I would compare this map to kind of like Black Ops 1 Hanoi. I know, Josh, you kind of started playing Call of Duty in Black Ops 2, I believe, so you may not have a lot of that familiarity with some of those original Black Ops maps, but Hanoi was a nighttime map in that title, and so it kind of feels somewhat similar to that, except there's a lot with it being Miami. There's the neon lights, and so it's, I would say, honestly, maybe a bit brighter than Hanoi in that sense.
Yeah.
Especially if you stay away from, I think, the edges. The edges of Miami is kind of where you have the difficulties with the waterfront on either sides. Is there a waterfront on either side? No, I think it's like
sorta, yeah. I mean, it is, but it isn't. You know,
it's like Miami, man. There's ocean on one side and then like a weird little pond thing on the left.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly like Miami.
Yep.
Yeah, and so on Miami, I think it probably does. I don't think it's weird. So I struggled to get hard point throughout like the entire beta. I was praying I would get hard point, and I think I got it maybe like 3 times.
Bro, I recorded
and so
videos.
it was constantly like, it was constantly team deathmatch and kill confirmed, which I kill confirmed is my least favorite game type of all time.
Oh, it's it's better than TDM, bro. Come on.
I think it's worse than TDM simply for the fact that if you get stuck in lobbies where you're just getting shit on, you will continue to get shit on because the people that are getting the kills and shitting on you will refuse to get the tags. And so the game goes on for such a long time.
That's why it's more fun, because I'm that guy.
You say you were that guy, but you were having a much more annoying time with the skill-based matchmaking in the beta than I was.
That's a whole other thing.
I think they turned, like, moving kind of like to the skill-based matchmaking thing for a second, I think they turned it down for the beta because it was definitely I felt it a lot more in the alpha, where like the first 3 games I played in the alpha, I was destroying, and then like after that, I was just constantly at a 1 or below, like over and over again. But for the beta, I was always pretty much a top 3 player on the team, except for like maybe those few matches where I would get like some YouTube star that, or like a full 5 stack coming against me, all with snipers or something, where I would just get blown out of the water. But even then, like I'm doing bad, but I'm still performing some of the best on my team. And some of that might have been like for the most of the beta, I think you, Josh, you were playing by yourself for a good portion of it.
Yeah, I had way more fun playing with parties when I did play though.
Yeah,
I
so I was playing with my younger brother, and sometimes like he would have one of his friends join us, and so I don't know if that affected it at all, kind of the skill-based matchmaking, especially if it pulls into account movement, because I know just from watching your stream, Josh, you were doing a lot of the advanced movement stuff. I'm kind of just doing basic sliding and whatnot, doing some fancy movement here and there or whatever. But I know for a fact, any of my brother's friends, they're just playing like straight up super normal style. And my younger brother, he doesn't really do any of that extra movement stuff either. So if it does take into account movement, maybe that's kind of what I also was experiencing in the beta as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. The skill-based matchmaking for me, I tested it like on my second account to make sure I wasn't going crazy. Like where my first few games I just dominated, and so like on my second account that I hadn't played the beta at all on, hop in, like this was on Sunday, like the last day of the beta basically, and like first game I go 47-9. I'm like, this is so nice. This feels so good. And so it was just like, yep, they definitely have like, it's literally like you're playing placement matches. You know, it's like you're playing rank play placement matches. Your first 3 games.
Yeah, the skill-based matchmaking is still there, but I don't know, like it felt more like when I was playing the beta, it just felt more like I was just playing normal COD lobbies where like maybe because I was having, maybe it was also something to do with the EKIA, since it moved back to that. I didn't feel the effects of me doing as poorly as maybe I actually was, because people are trading out my kills. That since I'm at least putting some damage into them.
It is nice for competitive.
But for pubs, it's like I just want to kill people.
Yeah, no, I like EKIA though, because it makes me feel like if I'm like, it makes me feel like I'm doing something even if I'm like losing my gunfight.
Although it should, I don't think a stun should count as an EKIA.
Does it?
It does do a little bit of damage, yeah.
I was playing some kill races, and it's like you have to run double stuns, you know, to like get the EKIAs. I'm like,
okay,
this is annoying.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that stuns were counting as EKAs.
Yeah, but I don't mind it, but yeah.
I think skill-based matchmaking was, how do I say it? So, I'm not trying to flex here, but I played a lot of pros during the beta. Played Slack, Looney. Can we count Censor as a pro? He used to play pro.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
So we played a bunch of pros as the COD team for Ohio State, and we were absolutely frying on there. But we played tight, we played competitive, we played objectively, and we tried to like make it the best we possibly could.
Parties?
We were almost exclusively playing full parties.
Oh,
we were 5 stacking, and we were dominating.
That's tough.
We were dominating. So like I said, I'm not really trying to flex, but I mean we definitely felt really, really good on the game. Practices on the movement and everything. But on the subject of Miami, going back to that, so yes, the map is dark.
Back to Miami.
The map is dark. I mean, I personally, from a competitive side of things, I don't care about kill confirmed or TDM. Hardpoint sucked on it. Hardpoint sucked on it.
Hardpoint wasn't good on it. I think the only good game mode on that map was Dom.
And that's
stretch, big stretch. No, and that's the thing, is that like if we got search on it, maybe it would have been a competitive map. Maybe like an Arklov peak sort of deal, but
yeah, I think one of the biggest issues with the Miami map is that team fights, like the whole gunfight, the way the map plays is pretty much all the action is isolated to one part of the map, and it's the I'm trying to
piano bar Piano bar is like
the piano bar.
the worst. Everybody goes in there.
Is it? I know it's like the one back building in like one of the spawns. It's a 2-story back building, like from there all the way to like B Dom is where pretty much all the fights are happening continuously. At least in the matches I played, never was anyone at the hotel pretty much unless they were in the room on the balcony.
Yeah, the balcony. Yeah, people played a lot of the balcony. People played a little bit of beach every now and then. Like you'd see sniper battles from Beach House around that.
The map is just obnoxious.
It really is a terrible map. Why did we have to start talking about Miami? Can we talk about Moscow next?
Yeah, at least at least I enjoy my time on Moscow.
I think everyone. Okay, we'll talk about Moscow.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think Miami is as bad. Kind of once you understand, like, hey, this is just where the action is going to be constantly. Just stop throwing your butt like that. So, Josh, you love to move around the map a lot and obviously go for kills. I'm perfectly fine with being like, hey, this map, this is how it's going to play. I just need to sit here and kill people and just control this section of the map and not move out of like this like square.
Right. The most important OBJ map control area.
Yeah, so pretty much I was always set up pretty close to B Dom, just inside kind of I'm trying to think. It was like the back alley area.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the back alley where the garage is. Yeah, is that the piano building?
That's the piano building.
That's piano.
Okay, I was kind of set up in that area pretty much the entire time, either shooting people throughout the front door or going through the back alley to get people from spawns. That's where I was.
Right.
So, like, my experience wasn't as bad as probably what some other people's were, but
Could you imagine trying to break that hard point?
Oh
in
gosh.
A competitive setting. That hard point that's back there, but
I didn't get to play hardpoint on that map a single time. So
terrible.
Impossible.
No, I did play it once, and I did not like it. The boat was very weird.
There was also
some
like
weird
contest spots on the entire map. Like like just in general for hardpoint, they really need to refix a lot of the points because there's so many little like scummy spots.
I agree.
Like you could get that specific spot we were talking about in hardpoint in Miami. You could stand on top of a roof and look down on everybody, and you were still contesting the point. And I was like, what? This is not how hardpoint is supposed to work. You're supposed to be on the point. You're not supposed to be above it. Just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna shoot at everybody. Little skeet shoot.
Bad.
Oh no, it's terrible.
Yeah, I think the only mode that currently even closely works on Miami is Dom, like in an objective sense. Obviously TDM and kill confirmed.
That was the only. I mean, I would quit out immediately if kill confirmed in TDM on Miami. I didn't even give it a chance.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I guess we'll hold off on Moscow. We'll go to the second. How many? 66 maps were there? There was 4. Yeah. The other one also being a 12v12 map, but
Cartel.
The other one, Satellite. So, what are your opinions on Satellite? So the people I played with absolutely hated Satellite. They thought it was the worst map in the beta. But I myself never hated it too much because for the most part I stayed completely away from the desert. Like fuck the desert, not going anywhere near it. Bad area.
Yeah. I thought it was a fun pubs map, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I went to it assuming it was gonna absolutely blow, and my first impression before ever playing it was that Miami was gonna be better than Satellite. But pretty quickly I realized, wait a second, I actually like Satellite like infinitely more than Miami.
Yeah, well, Satellite's a lot smaller
at all, but,
quote unquote, a lot smaller of a map than Miami.
For sure. And like you can basically spawn up and be in a gunfight within 5 to 6 seconds probably. Like unlike Miami where you're running a marathon.
Satellite's interesting because the spawns go back like I'm trying to think of the word, but
the biggest issue with
they go back farther than you would think they would.
Yes. Yeah, they do. The biggest issue with Satellite is score streaks on that map is just hell on earth. And with the stupid score streak system, which I'm sure we're going to talk about more.
Yes.
It makes the map horrible in the second half of at the second side of the map. Like in the first half, the map plays great, and then score streaks start coming in, and it's just hell on earth.
Yeah, there's not a lot of good cover spots. I think there's only 3 real places you're safe.
And like when you hear the artillery's inbound, and you're like, "Oh no, I'm so dead." There's no, like every time.
Yeah,
So
especially if you're just
Satellite. So Satellite plays pretty well, I think, for all the game modes outside of Hardpoint.
yeah,
Hardpoint
Hardpoint
on
looked a
that
little
map
iffy.
did not feel good. You have a good first central hardpoint,
Yeah,
and then you go back to a pretty much spawn hardpoint where you really need to get control of like back spawn. So like one of those areas where you're like, oh wow, this spawn goes pretty far back.
that P2
Kind of one of those
that
things.
P2
Yeah,
on
P2.
Satellite is
But
a
then
full
the
60,
next spawn is on the complete opposite side of the map.
which is
yeah,
And then
dude.
the fourth one is awful. You're like
You literally
battling
go from
in
A
this.
dom to C dom.
Yeah,
yes,
A
silly
to C, and then the fourth hard point is just in an
in the middle
awful
of dunes.
spot.
In the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's pretty much like no cover
so
there.
bad.
It's so difficult to get there because like if anyone has a sniper, they're literally just sniping you trying to get over there.
Yeah. Yeah. That was
Constantly.
another problem with that map. Is the snipers were if you played against a good sniper on that map,
Oh,
my
boned.
word, it was.
I went
Toast.
up against a team of 5 snipers on that map.
And
Played
it
in
probably
dunes.
worked. It probably worked.
It worked, and it was a terrible experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going, I was
bad.
even, but I wasn't enjoying myself.
I mean, using the Krig on Satellite was a freaking blast.
Yeah, especially that Godheady, like right in the middle on that rock. Oh
yeah.
my gosh. Yeah,
It was fun.
I saw way too many clips of that. I think the biggest things that I'll take away from Satellite that we haven't touched on yet is, first of all, the desert is like the Sahara. It's way too big. Like, why is there so many dunes and they're all just like one continuous like head glitch? Like you just pop
I think
up
it would
on
have been
a
a lot better if that was just a cliff face, like a drop off.
or just maybe like one dune, like just give them one. They're allowed to have the one dune and it's all fine and dandy, but it's just like the map kept going on.
Yeah, then you put a few more lines of sight blockers out there.
True.
Like if they put like a few big rocks, that'd be nice. That's all it would really take.
The spawns for Hardpoint are completely scuffed, so I hope that they change all of them.
I mean, that map, it ain't happening for competitive. No chance.
No, absolutely not. Not even. I mean, even if like Dom was a thing, it wouldn't even make it competitive straight.
For sure.
When you guys played on Satellite, because that was the one map I actually did get Hardpoint a couple of times. I felt like people were spawning behind me when they shouldn't have. Did you guys ever, like for P2 and P3?
I did mention on the
like
stream that I didn't feel like the spawns were optimized very well on Satellite.
The P2
I felt
spawn was ridiculous.
like the enemy team when we were, like our full team is in the hardpoint. I felt like people were spawning behind us for just no reason.
No, that
interesting.
That P2 spawn was completely and utterly scuffed. Like if you weren't spawning right behind it, you were spawning on the complete opposite side of the map.
Yeah,
so
that was terrible.
You literally couldn't even contest P2. You would run all the way over. That would take up 30 seconds of hill time, and then you would have to turn around and go back to P3.
Yeah, you were spawning absurdly far out for P2.
It's literally the dumbest thing. I was like, did you guys even think about like how big your map is? Treyarch. Like
it's just insane. Like I mean, in like Call of Duty, the theory of Call of Duty moving forward, like, does it scare you that we're seeing these maps in the beta, like the overarching? Unless I'm skipping ahead here. If I'm skipping ahead, call me out. But
no,
I mean, it definitely scares me a little bit with these maps in the beta, considering that we saw quite a few competitive maps in the BO4 beta.
True.
Like it scares me that we probably only saw one out of the 4 we got in this beta. It definitely worries me for the future of like the direction that Treyarch's taking, or is it more testament to potentially the lack of time they had to develop? I don't know, but it definitely worries me.
Yeah, it's definitely worrisome. I'm hoping that because of kind of the feedback that they're getting, that maybe, I don't know, because like all the maps, they got to be made already. So like you would think,
right?
So it would take them a while to like actually push out a new map that has kind of all the feedback from the pros and input.
I mean, if they took over the development of this game, midway through, like, do you think these maps were already kind of pretty heavily made by Sledgehammer? Because they don't really feel like
Sledgehammer maps.
They don't feel like Treyarch maps.
No, they definitely don't.
Kind of maybe does.
I think Miami feels pretty Treyarchy because it's got the
Really?
3 lanes.
Parts of Miami feel it, and it's more like the neon lights and everything.
So I think parts of Miami feel
the
like it, but I
coloring
think
does.
one of the biggest things with and we'll talk about this like moving into Moscow. But I think one of the biggest issues with the maps in this game, and it's something that I felt for quite a while, is that they just go too far back. Like
Yeah.
you look at the map and you're like, we could realistically cut out 20% of this map and it would play a lot better and make a lot more sense. And that's like what I was thinking, like moving into Moscow. I'm like, there's this huge section of the map over at like A
Right.
flag, A
And
dom,
again, like in a
that you
game,
don't need. Like it's
I agree.
massive how far back Moscow goes. But then I play Control and I'm like, that's why it's there. That's why this huge area exists. It's because they have to like cram in so many different game modes into these maps, and so they're not making the maps for a specific game mode, and that just makes them just play average across like so many of the game types.
Yeah.
Are we talking about Moscow yet?
We're moving on to Moscow
Okay,
since I think we can
so
finish up on satellite.
They gotta fix some things on Control.
Like yes, first of all, that A spot in Control
Terrible.
on Moscow,
A spot
unbreakable,
and B and C spot, like both of the spawns go way too far back on Moscow.
Oh,
There's a whole literal second floor that you can go up to that literally looks over one of the hard points on CDOM. Like that, I think it's P2, P3.
Oh yeah, no, that building's fine, and I don't mind that spot. What building I want to get rid of? You know the building like right behind the bus at the very end?
Yes.
Yeah.
Get rid
it's
of
massive. It goes so far back.
It doesn't even need to be a thing.
Huge.
It goes so far back. I thought for a set, like before I played Hardpoint there, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a hardpoint.
Yeah, it's like a full like gymnasium. Like
because there's literally
like
no
an
other point to
swimming pool in it.
There's no other point to go to that part of the map, but that's where you spawn for Control.
Which
that's
is
the thing.
Silly.
And that's where you spawn for one of the hard points too.
Yeah,
if you have control of it.
I mean, I don't want to talk too badly about Moscow because I think overall it's a very solid map and has a really good flow to it.
Agreed.
I think it's a good map. I think it just goes too far back in a lot of spots.
I love it,
which is something you see on all the maps.
I love it for Hardpoint. I think I'll like it for Search, depending on where to put the bombs. Yeah, that always.
Yeah, I agree.
That always matters, but I think it'll be fine for Search.
And where the spawns are, because the timing can get a little bit weird if you're like doing like rush routes off the beginning. Like there could be some weird like funneling timing things if the spawns are too far back.
Oh, speaking of rush strats, Josh, did you learn the movement?
Which one?
All right, so
the crazy glitch slide?
No, this was you would jump 180, G slide backwards, and while you're G sliding backwards, you 180, G slide forwards, jump, and then like do that like the Shotzi move. Oh my gosh. You flew across the map. Nick doesn't even know what we're talking about.
That's what I was saying. In that video I was talking about
G slide.
I do think that there's like some scary potential for the movement in this game to be broken, but I'm sure we'll talk more about movement in a second. But like, yeah, I do agree with you that it's a little bit scary. So when it comes to like how Search and Destroy could play, I'm a little bit worried about the timings off the rip that might need some tweaking when it comes to spawns and such. But I do agree that like Moscow could be a pretty fun S&D map at the end of the day, though.
For sure. I think it'll be a very solid addition to the competitive lineup and be really exciting to see. Hopefully it becomes like the gun runner of this map. Like nobody wants to ban it. Like everybody wants to play it a bunch of times. And I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like prefer it to be better than gun runner, but
wow.
I enjoy gun runner.
I enjoy
overall.
Gun runner.
I don't mind this map.
I hated Modern Warfare and I enjoyed gun runner.
Same.
I think gun runner had some glaring issues.
But every map did.
Sure. Search and Destroy was fun on gun runner. Anyway,
sure.
Like I don't know, when you look back at like the history of like Activision Treyarch's map design, like any of their legendary maps, like none of them were like any of the maps in this beta.
True.
Like they felt like the bad maps in their old games, like Overflow on BO2, or like just the weird maps on BO2, like Turbine on BO2 or something.
Right.
Like the weird maps on BO2, not the good ones, you know? So it's like, or like same thing like BO3. Like it was designed like the weird maps on BO3, not the good ones.
Yeah, there were weird maps on BO3. I think even the weird maps on BO2 played fine. I didn't have any of the DLC because I played on the Wii U for that.
You know,
game,
it was
but-
like we were getting like Aquarium, like on BO3 as like our beta map. You know, I don't know. It
Yeah,
just
that's true.
it didn't feel like we were getting in. Hopefully, they're saving the good maps. You know, and there were definitely some bad maps on BO3. Like Exodus was a terrible map.
I think that was
was
probably the
terrible.
worst map on BO3. Was
Yeah, Exodus, Aquarium were trash. Like there were some horrible maps on BO3.
I didn't mind any of the maps on BO3 outside of Exodus.
And Metro. That Metro map was terrible.
Yeah, Metro wasn't that enjoyable.
But besides that, they had incredible maps. But like, it's just like, I don't know. I'm holding out hope because I know the potential that they've had, and their hit rate with maps has been pretty freaking good in BO2 and BO3.
True.
And in BO4 was solid as well, mostly all the way through. So it's like mostly.
Most.
And so like, I'm holding out hope, but it does get me a little bit worried when I feel like we maybe got one like decent competitive map.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah.
We got.
I think
one.
Moscow is probably the most competitive one.
Right.
Definitely.
But it's just like on a scale of competitive maps, I'm not
Yeah.
that confident in that one being like
I think they
competitive.
need to move the hard points around though. I feel like there's probably some better locations for hard points
Yeah.
than what they currently have. And the rotations feel kind of weird. It's I feel like pretty much every hard point there's only been 4 hard points too. There hasn't been like 5 in the rotation. Right?
I'm trying to think right now.
Moscow there's only
I have
4.
to think about it.
One. So
Did-
first you
did
start in mid.
Cartel have 5?
Cartel, I think,
Did-
had 5, but Cartel is also like massive. Cartel's also
Cartel,
the weird
Cartel had 5, and Cartel's probably not a
Cartel hardpoint
6v6.
was okay.
It's too big for 4v4 though. It wouldn't play.
It
4v4.
feels way too big for 4v4.
Yeah, this is definitely not a competitive map.
It's
There's no
bigger
way.
than Jungle, and Jungle is probably like the
Oh,
biggest
what a great map.
BO1 map. And so if it's bigger than Jungle, I don't think it could
Oh,
realistically
it's
work.
Yeah.
way bigger than Jungle. Oh my god,
Yeah,
map
massive.
is massive, and like it goes way far back on both sides. Like to quote Pristini, the game
It
has
goes way too far back.
much
but that's because it's a
foreskin.
12v12 map.
It was better in
realistically.
12v12. It actually felt better in 12v12.
too much foreskin. That's what it
Yeah.
is. I mean,
It
there's
needed,
just too
it literally needed
Is
a
that how
little
it's
snip.
a
Pristini
lot
worded it?
yes, it's exactly how you worded it. You can check
Needed
out.
to
Okay,
be
so
snipped.
we're all in agreement? Moscow, decent map. Moving on to Cartel then,
Yeah, absolutely.
because I know Josh,
Yeah,
you
for
hated
sure.
Cartel,
Oh, it's terrible.
and I told you
Cartel
I didn't
is-
think it was. You said it was the worst Call of Duty map ever made.
Wow.
In
That's pretty tough.
TDM and Kill Confirmed, it is right up there.
I didn't mind it that much.
I'm mixed about it. The bushes,
Dude,
the bushes are
See,
ridiculous.
this is like one of the things where it's like I don't know if I'm just playing people that aren't as 5-head as like the people you're playing against, or if I'm just
Yeah,
like
that's
playing
possible.
it, or if it's just because I'm playing it a lot different than how you guys are.
the
Also possible.
I mean, there's one like glaringly bad issue on the map that gives it just an F, and that's the bushes.
The
And
bushes,
the
obviously.
bushes are the worst. Like you can't see anybody in them. Like you get no
Dude,
aim
people
assist.
disappear, bro. Everyone's Houdini in the middle of the map.
It literally like
Why
no,
are you
no-
going to the bushes then? Stay
No
away from the
BS.
fucking
They're
bushes.
just there, man.
No
They're
BS. You
just
could have like
there.
8 people in the bushes and nobody would find each other,
Dude,
and-
literally.
and you would just be running around. Like it's just it's too much. Like
Dude,
put-
the boogeyman would love that map.
like
He could hide anywhere.
cut the bushes in half. Like
Dude, I remember the good old days. You could hide in bushes.
no, and I don't
Like,
mind hiding
well,
in
it's
bushes,
back.
but don't make the entire map one giant line of bushes.
I
you know?
literally think if you put on Cold Blooded and just laid in a bush, you might not die.
Yeah, it would be like mad search
Hiding
strat.
tactics. Hiding tactics.
Like,
New
dude,
season.
like what in the world?
Let's see. The warehouse was kind of fun though. I would imagine that if you like really cut down the map and you made warehouse like a focal point of that map, that would actually be really
Yeah.
fun because the warehouse was a lot of fun, a lot of really
If
interesting
there
gun
was
battles.
another door,
That or you could just get a some lawn keepers and actually like trim down the bushes and have less bushes, and it would probably play.
less bushes and like a little bit more like
But
hard
that-
cover.
Then
True.
then the I feel like maybe the center of the map's like too open is like the
Yeah, you
issue.
need a little bit more cover. And that stupid sniper tower, like, what are they thinking?
What?
Like that,
yeah,
that feels straight out of Infinity Ward's book.
that was like Head Glitch City too. Like you could
That's,
just
I know. It's like this is straight out of Infinity Ward's books.
I mean,
Yeah,
or
surprisingly,
or
not
like
a
a
lot of people
seaside.
went there though. At least in my games.
what? You
Really?
kidding me?
Oh, dude, there was a person there 24/7 in
Yeah, I
my
was about
game.
to say,
Really?
I go kill
Like,
somebody.
bro, they pitched their tent. They had the trophy system in there with them.
I
Yeah.
feel like there's so many angles that people can see you there though. That like
Nope.
Not
someone
if you're
would
crouching
just.
or laying.
If you're literally
Yeah,
crouching,
but
they
if
can't
you're
see
laying or crouching, you're not killing anyone
No,
up
you
there.
no.
So
I think it's a head glitch if you're crouching,
you.
right?
Yes, there's several head glitches all
It's
over it.
insane.
It's
if you're
broken.
crouched though, I think the only spot you can see is probably like the warehouse though, right?
No, you can see basically the whole map. You can see
Okay.
that little White House. You can see all the way
Yeah,
in your
it's
backside. You
insane.
can see the
Crouched?
warehouse. Oh my gosh, it is so broken. I spent so much time up there. I've
What were they
explored it
thinking?
all. I genuinely don't know. Like, you literally walk around it and you're
What were they
crouching. You're like,
thinking? Oh, the church tower in Seaside wasn't that bad, so I guess we'll just add this.
yeah, but
The
you could
clock
also
tower in
you could also
Seaside
jump up
could
to
only
it.
see one direction.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And-
like, I don't understand. Like, that's why I'm saying like these maps did not feel like Treyarch maps.
Nah,
Like,
you're right.
it's just there aren't like even to the bad maps in BO4 there wasn't stuff like that.
There should always be two routes to a power position like that, and there's a small ladder that you have to interact with to get up there. So that's just
Yeah, I'm trying to
scummy.
think. The only other map that has something kind of like that was firing range, but firing range you can shoot through that
yes.
wooden.
Yeah. Yeah, that
that
firing
like
range
treehouse.
was OP, but
There
also
also
forever to get
was
up
a
there.
second way up there, but you had to like
Yes.
do some hardcore parkour shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it took forever to get up there, and like you often died trying to climb the ladder. Like,
Right.
This ladder is much
That's
more
also
protected.
true. It was in the dead. It was in like the dead center, but it was like
Yeah, very exposed.
less covered than I feel like
Yes.
the angles that
And,
you're
like,
initially going to see
right.
someone climbing
If the ladder
tower.
was on the opposite side of that tower facing the warehouse, then maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be worse. Actually, maybe that would be better because you don't have the sandbags there. But I feel like it'd be easier to
Yeah.
get up it because you initially have that wall.
Maybe. But
Mm,
yeah, but then at
But I
least it
feel
wouldn't
like you'd
the
be able to get
insane
shot
head
out of
glitch.
it easier. Yeah, from
Right,
like the
right.
warehouse, like the
So that would be a little
primary
interesting.
spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be a little interesting. I mean,
That-
like think about like the worst map on BO4 was like what Morocco. That map was terrible, but like I don't know. It that like the Morocco was like that desert map with like
Oh,
that felt like
yeah.
a CS:GO map because it had
Yeah,
such high walls.
Morocco was only good if you wanted to just get crazy kill streaks by playing
Yes.
hardpoint and unleashing your nuclear radiation.
Or what was that one
bomb
escort
thing.
game mode? That game was fun on Morocco. You could rake and kills, escorting the droid thing.
Oh, you know what? You know what
Droid?
this map
Oh,
reminds
Safeguard?
me of?
Safeguard was fun on Morocco.
I didn't even remember they had Safeguard in BO4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like this map was just, I don't know. I honestly chalked. That's how I feel
Yeah,
about it.
it played fine for 6v6 and for hard or not for 6v6. It played fine for 12v12
Yeah.
combined arms domination, and it played fine for hardpoint. I want to say.
Yeah.
But with hardpoint, you just have
Dude.
like these massive areas of the map that go unused because it's a 12v12.
Bro, I want to see the analytics of 12v12 in like COD. Who wants to play 12v12?
I
Casuals.
honestly primarily was playing 12v12
Oh, no.
for the betas.
Oh.
Simply because I could like my sanity could not
I
handle.
thought you were about to say that you played 12v12 like regularly in Modern Warfare.
No, I did. I played Modern Warfare. I played Modern Warfare for like 4 hours.
Oh yeah, you
and
barely
never
played
touched it again.
That was a smart decision, I think.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
Yeah, for my sanity,
dude, I
definitely.
mean, well, yeah, Pubs was Modern Warfare is the worst Pubs game by
Ever.
far ever. And it's
Yeah.
not even close. But yeah, I don't know.
I found myself enjoying 12v12 a lot more because I was always getting objective game modes. I was always getting combined arms dom, or I was getting
Did you play the combined arms assault one?
yeah, assault as well.
That
I
one was
hated
so much fun.
assault on
What?
cartel
No,
because
that
I
was
was
so
always
much
getting bodied. I was always on the team that was getting absolutely
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that makes
Mollywop
sense. No,
on
but
the end. So it was terrible because like constantly it's just streaks killing me off spawn.
being
over
on
and
the
over again,
giving
so
end
was
of that is a
miserable.
ton of fun, though. I'm not even.
Yeah,
gonna
no,
lie.
it's. I mean, well, gonna move from cartel to Armada. Speaking of assault, I got one of the gunner boats, and I was literally just spraying people as they spawned up in their spawn for like a good 3 minutes straight.
Dude, this is so bad. Like, ugh.
But yeah, so assault on Armada, not that great. But combined arms dom on Armada
was fun.
It wasn't bad.
Very fun. Like that was my favorite map and mode combination.
Honestly,
probably like through the beta.
It was actually a blast. I'll be honest. I thought it was gonna be terrible. Like I went into it assuming it was gonna be terrible. Like with the zip lines, I thought it was gonna be absolute trash. And side note, did you guys hear like the idea that they could bring back BO3 maps with zip lines as the wall runs?
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Be a fun idea.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah. Play some Redwood S&D with zip lines.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. It was a fun map, and I'm down for more. But again, it's at the end of the day, it's ground war. So it's
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed that map. For ground war for combined arms domination. You had like your quick and easy A and E or whatever cap points. And then
I don't think I ever once went to those like smaller boat. I don't know which ones they were, like D.
I would only ever go to them off spawn or if like we really needed to. For the most part, like so the way my brother was playing the map was he was always going for C. And me, the way I was helping kind of like support him go for C was I was always controlling D and B. So if like we had D, I would try and control B. And if we had B, I was trying to control D. So I was always going across the map, killing people at least on one side to make my way over there. And then I was pretty much always capping it off the bat and then just holding it down. And eventually I got down. I'm like, we kept on flipping spawns on them over and over again. And we just capped B, and I'm like, you know what? We probably flip spawns again. I'm gonna go run back to D, and they're like, no, Nick, come back. We definitely didn't flip spawns. Meanwhile, I'm in D, and I'm getting 8 kills. I'm like, are you sure they didn't flip fucking spawns? I just go on like this massive kill spree. So that was probably like my favorite moment from the beta. But I feel like Armada could actually, if they cut off and just had the main ship, could probably be like a hard point map.
Oh, that would be interesting.
That'd be interesting.
Because like you have the central, you have like the central above CDOM spot that could be a hard point. You have B and D that could be hard points, maybe or something. And then you have the lower, you have like the rooms on either side that could probably be hard points, and the lower spots. On either side, that could be hard.
Interesting, but I'd be shocked if that was the case. Again, I
would be shocked, but like if they're really running low on decent maps, they could do that.
No, they definitely shouldn't.
When it comes to throwback maps, over under, how many do you think we're getting at launch?
A lot.
A lot. 4? Over under 3.5.
I think
that we're playing in competitive or that we're getting in the game.
That are in the game.
10.
Under, I think we're getting 3 throwbacks. No, throwbacks.
We're getting 10
Nick.
throwback maps.
No. What?
Yeah.
How many multiplayer maps will they launch with?
We're gonna get a Nuketown. 100%. That's already one.
That's not gonna be at launch.
Summit and Nuketown will be there at launch, I would imagine.
I think probably. How many did we have in Black Ops 4? We had a ton.
We had a ton. How
many were there?
We had like 5 throwback maps.
There was.
We had firing range, slums. Array, Summit, Jungle. If you're not counting Nuketown
wasn't on launch, though. I think there was only like.
Are we talking on launch or?
That's what he said,
on launch. Let's say on launch.
Okay, on launch, 4.
That's what I'm saying. Over. So you're taking the over on 3.5.
4. He's taking.
I think 4 on launch. Yeah.
I'm taking under. I think there's gonna only be like 3. But I mean,
especially since like they were pressed to make this game, like they had to take it from Sledgehammer because
That's why I think we might have like 6.
Wow, jeez,
6?
Impressive.
That'd be quite a lot. I don't know if they'll do that many simply because they have like the 12v12 maps, but I think we don't really have anything negative to say about Armada, so I guess we can move on to the last map, which was Crossroads, which I think was.
I didn't even know what
by far though. Like no one voted that one. I think everyone hated that map the most
It was
out of all the ones
Assault.
in the.
I played it twice.
It was
fun.
good for
It was good.
Assault.
It was.
It was awful for.
Oh, so bad for
Dom,
combined arms.
because D you could not get to D
Oh, it was
at all.
terrible.
Unless you had a vehicle. You needed a vehicle to get to
And
it.
just the tanks dominated, and it
Yeah.
was just terrible.
But
it was a mess.
for Assault, yeah, it wasn't bad. It
No, I
wasn't
had
bad
some
for
fun.
Assault.
See, you guys are built differently. Well, maybe not you, Josh, but Nick, you're built differently because like whenever we would go play combined arms, it was like a break. It's like, all right, hold on a second. Let's take a break from being sweaty and everything. Let's go to combined arms real quick.
that.
Like, oh my god, I'm tired of this game right now. I cannot.
Time to pull out the sniper. Yeah,
exactly. Time to pull out the sniper, play and have some fun with the game. And that's what those game modes are for. And honestly, all of those maps felt fine with it. I mean, Cartel, you had a lot of you had tons of true engagements. In the combined arms assault. Armada felt like it was fun, explorative. I liked the water, but Crossroads was totally different than both of them because it felt like a battlefield map. It felt like there was just too many spots all over the place.
Snipers.
All of these sniper spots. Like, what are we trying to do here?
That's why if it wasn't Assault, I was just going to C over and over again. Because that was pretty much the only thing I could hold down without getting sniped or blown up by a tank.
I couldn't tell you anything memorable about that map other than the fact that it was just.
I didn't play it
big.
once during the beta. I played it twice, but it was Assault both times. No one ever voted that map for Dom.
Too big for 12v12. Too big for 12v12 even.
Too big for 12v12.
Yeah, I think it's one of those like maybe you.
I don't know about that.
Maybe you throw like a 20v20 or something like that on there, like they did in Modern Warfare. But it doesn't even matter. I will never play that map ever again. You know?
Yeah.
But so that covers all the maps. But there is. Do you have a point?
Well, I was gonna say, like, when it comes like the design, like, and like again the long-term aspects of map design in Call of Duty, like, I think we're seeing like a shift in how maps are going to be from here on out, and it definitely scares me and makes me want to like always have throwback maps and competitive quality from here on out.
True.
I don't know, because like I just think that with the success of Warzone and COD BRs that we're gonna have in COD for probably the upcoming few years at least, like
minimum,
they're encouraged to create massive maps that just fit into their battle royale maps.
True.
And so it's like, like what we saw with Modern Warfare, where you have all the ground war maps that we originally thought were just ground war maps, but were actually part of, Warzone.
True.
Like, I think
they need to separate their map design, is what they need to do.
But it's
like
just not. It's
like
not
right now they're
them as a company.
Like right now they're just being lazy. Like, if we're being completely honest, they're just being flat out lazy. They're designing maps for too many different things, and it's just making none of them good. Is what's happening, if we're being completely honest. And right now with Cold War, so far at least, outside of Cartel, the 12v12 maps are not 6v6 maps, and the 6v6 maps aren't 12v12 maps. Even though you could probably make an argument that maybe Miami should be a 12v12.
I'm actually in agreement with you, Josh. I think that there should be like a set of maps that we say, hey, look, every year in competitive, these like 4 maps are the throwback maps. Every Call of Duty shall have these for the rest of time. These are the competitive maps that. Yes, absolutely.
Well, see, again, 5v5 threw a wrench in that plan, because competitive COD played completely different than any CODs of the past. But now that we're back on 4v4,
I feel like the game would get too stagnant.
I mean, only if you keep like 3, or maybe you can rotate. I just think maybe it's not the same ones every year.
True.
But there needs to be consistently throwback maps that like we know for a fact will be good. I think they just need to make
good maps. Like, why are we giving them? Fantastic. Why are we giving them the benefit? Like, why are we letting them be lazy?
I mean,
it's not that we're letting them be lazy. It's just the fact of the matter that they're going.
Well, we're
to
saying,
make
okay,
realistic
battle royales.
Throwback maps.
No, we're just being realistic about it. I mean, like, it's hard to make a firing range every single year. It's hard to make some of these like legendary maps every single year, or slums.
How about when they bring back the maps, they don't add doors? That'd be great.
Oh my gosh, please, yo. So
because I was really excited to play some Crash S&D until I saw they had doors.
So I was playing the campaign on Modern Warfare because I'm trying to love Modern Warfare again, and I realized how bad the doors were in the campaign because they're not patched. So like there's so many patches that went through in order to try and fix doors throughout all of Modern Warfare. And then you go through the campaign and you're like, all right, hold on a second, I can do like a bunch of like little busted stuff. So I would do like some of the weird movements, and then the doors would all of a sudden,
interesting.
and all of a sudden the doors would start like flapping all over the place. I was like, okay, cool,
Oh,
yeah,
that's funny.
that's where the game was at one point. Like that's how
I think
badly broken it was.
I think what they need to do is they need to start designing the maps with the modes in mind so that they're not just throwing shit in as an afterthought and kind of fucking up the map.
Right.
Because I feel like that's kind of what you see with Moscow. It's kind of weird in some spots because they had to throw areas in to fit game modes when they could probably think of a more intelligent way of doing it, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Or have more maps so they don't have to play every game mode on every single map.
True.
Yeah, you can make
I mean,
map.
like how many
specific
unique
modes
maps
or
would
something.
you over under 13 and a half unique maps for multiplayer?
Oh, under for sure. That would that on release.
Yeah, on release.
Yeah.
How many you think there? I mean, how many
Man.
did BO4 have?
I don't think you think 13. Yeah, probably 13. 13.
So you would go under.
Militia. What a fun map on BO4.
I'd
I
go
really
under.
like Militia.
Militia kind of reminded me of Cartel. Or Cartel reminded me of Militia a little bit.
Yeah, I was not a huge fan of Militia.
There was only 10 unique maps on launch for BO4.
Yeah, I
Plus
think
four
under 13.
Backs, right? Yeah,
I think
four
under
throwbacks.
13.
There's 14 total maps, and then
10
slums,
unique.
summit,
Firing range,
jungle. And yeah. So those were the 4. So 10 uniques and then 4 throwbacks.
We could see that same number.
Yeah, I think one of the things is like the older maps, they're designed in a way so that they work without these just lazy spawn points where they had like just these useless areas of the maps that we're just gonna put that there because it's an easy spawn point instead of actually
I mean
thinking of the flow.
Like
the flow.
playing pubs in BO4, like legitimately, I don't know if it's because of nostalgia or just because the maps are better, but like I had more fun on any of the throwback maps basically the whole time than I did on any of the unique ones for pubs in BO4. I don't think it's just because of my rose-colored glasses. I think it's because the maps are actually just better.
The maps were just flatly better. I 100% agree with you. I think that they've tried like too hard.
I think the comp maps were definitely the best ones.
For sure.
Yeah, like Seaside and Arsenal. Oh yeah, for sure. Gridlock, frequency.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Again, the maps for competitive. Hacienda was a blast too. So like,
true.
BO4's competitive maps, it worked totally fine for competitive 5v5. Like to make that happen was a pretty big deal for COD. But like,
yeah,
it gets me worried heading into 4v4. Like, it separates us just even more from the pubs. And
true.
Like as much as I don't want us to be pubs, like at the same time, we know how Activision is with focusing on pubs and focusing on what makes money. And that's why the direction of map design scares me in the COD future, because the money talks, and I don't know if we're the priority.
What would be interesting, is if they have a team that's focused on pubs and then they make a team that's entirely focused on competitive.
I mean, that would be the ideal scenario.
And like that team that's entirely focused on competitive, that stays consistent from developer to developer, and they just like create maps and like the ranked play system, and they literally just hand it to the developer. Like the developer, whether it be IW or Treyarch or whatever, they show them like, okay, this is the game, this is what we're making, yada yada yada, and they're like, okay, here's these maps, we made them. This is what's going to be competitive, and like this is like what's going to be. Yeah, like, and this is like what's going to go into ranked play or whatever.
Yes, dude. If there was like a competitive design oversight person, like who works with Activision, or like a handful, like a little small team that like made sure to like oversee like competitive from game to game, that would be the ideal scenario. And maybe that's something that the owners can like negotiate for in the future, is like more consistency from COD to COD for competitive.
True.
But like, that the CDL needs to build themselves leverage first to be able to negotiate that with Activision.
But I think that's probably like the way to go. You just have like this small team that's entirely focused on competitive, and then you have the money grabbers that are just interested in microtransactions in the
Well,
pub community.
I'm sure that as time goes on, I mean, like all these league owners paid $25 million to get into the league. Like, it's not like there's no money in this. You know, and the CDL, like the actual organization of it, will grow over time, and that is Activision based. Like, CDL is owned entirely by Activision. So
the problem is that Activision's revenue for 2020 quarter 3, just this quarter, was 1.95 billion.
Oh, sure.
So like the competitive aspect is just a drop in the pond, you know,
True.
like, which is what still scares me. I mean, like, even though the CDL was a step in the right direction, we need this thing to start like producing cash flow and like becoming profitable for Activision before I think they really give us priority. But like, it's like a chicken and the egg. Like, how about you start giving us some priority, and then maybe we'll start making some money, you know? Like,
well,
man,
I think that with LA Thieves coming in and Nadeshot sort of having the same vision that Hector has with
that's huge.
with content and all of that, that's going to be
The amount
massive.
of leverage he has,
and that's going to start forcing other teams to be like, hey, by the way, we need to start focusing on content. We need to start focusing on marketing, merchandise.
For those
all
that didn't know,
oh yeah,
100 Thieves bought the LA spot.
that happened.
Optic Hex.
that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, that happened, but you know, we're talking about the beta.
It's crazy.
Oh, we are talking about the beta.
So,
True.
I think we covered all the maps pretty much and kind of like what we need to see from that. One thing I do want to cover is Dirty Bomb. I watched someone play it for like 10 seconds, thought I wasn't gonna like it, played it, actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and can definitely be a lot of fun if you get a 4 stack. I only ever had a 3 stack or a 2 stack.
Yeah, I never played with a team,
but every game we were just like me and my brother, we were at least like top 3 every game.
it gets a little toxic though with the killing from behind. It's like it is a shooting in the back simulator.
Oh yeah.
Like, the amount of like landing behind where you know people are and just shooting from them in the back was like just comedy.
We definitely were setting up like strats so that we were taking bomb sites that were more indoors so that we didn't have like that issue.
So you don't have to have like one player being like the anti-air turret, just watching the skies 24/7.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely
I think that was fun. I think that'll be a fun party game mode if a bunch of the sweats with
I saw people seeing it as like a warm up for Warzone. You hop in there, like get your gun and movement, and like, you know, I could see that.
I could definitely see that. But that's kind of everything with the maps. There's Control, there's Hardpoint. We didn't have S&D obviously, but those were most likely going to be the competitive game modes, more than likely, unless something weird happens. But I guess we'll move on to the second talking point, which is the guns. And so from the alpha, I definitely think like the only really usable assault rifle was kind of the XM, and then the SMGs, the Uzi.
He said from the alpha. From the alpha.
In the alpha?
Oh, the alpha! I missed that.
In the alpha. The XM4 was kind of the only usable AR. And the Uzi and the AK-74U were the by far best SMGs, and then the MP5 was a little ways behind them.
It was.
Moving into the beta, though, AK-74U got nerfed pretty dang hard. I think it's probably the worst SMG.
It's not the worst, but it's definitely
currently.
It's definitely bad.
I think the MP5 moved up to the best because I think the Uzi got hit with a little bit of a nerf too, because it wasn't feeling as good, because that was pretty much the only gun I was using. And I think towards the end of the beta, it wasn't killing as quickly as it had at the start of the beta. So I don't know if they hit it with some like micro patch or if it was just me mentally. But I switched up to the MP5 and that thing was melting.
The MP5 was definitely the best SMG.
Yeah, there wasn't even a competition. I felt twisted the entire time I was running around the map with it. Like,
which, I mean, are we going to go back to back MP5?
I really don't want the MP5 being the best. I want the Uzi. I want the Uzi.
I honestly think it's going to be the AK once the game comes out.
AK-74U or the AK-74U?
74U.
74. You think it's going to be back up there?
I think they're gonna nerf the MP5 because that thing is just godly. That thing was straight godly.
I don't know if
Yeah.
they needed. Yeah, maybe. Okay,
No,
so
it
like
definitely did.
slight nerf to MP5, slight buff to AK-74U, and then I think you have 3 SMGs that are all pretty darn good. And
Yeah.
that's like one thing that I think I really liked in this beta was all the guns seemed viable.
Yeah,
pretty
for
much.
sure.
Like
sure.
No
I
doubt.
was still using the Uzi for a good amount of it, and I didn't feel like I was getting absolutely torched like I had to use the MP5. Obviously it was nice to use the MP5,
Right.
but I didn't feel like it was a must-have. And then in the beta, I didn't use the Krieg for a lot of the beta because I'm like, I didn't think it was going to get buffed, or I don't know if it got buffed or what happened with
Shoot
the ARs,
straight
but
beams.
Yeah,
the
it's
Krieg definitely
nuts.
got hit with the good. It was doing a lot better in the beta than it was in the
Oh, it's
alpha.
insane.
That gun was filthy. Every
So,
time I
like,
picked it up, it was a clip.
Dude,
Like,
it shoots
all
like
the ARs were pretty
the
darn good. Like,
recoil and like the sound. It just feels like you're shooting like a cannon.
yeah,
yeah,
it's-
I
It's
was
such a
using the Krieg.
satisfying gun.
I was using the Krieg exclusively in Dirty Bomb, and it was nice.
Oh, it's disgusting in Dirty Bomb.
Yeah. All the ARs felt really good.
Yeah.
I didn't use any of the LMGs. One of the people I was
Pretty
playing with
trash.
was using them because he's a Battlefield guy, so he likes
Oh,
likes
no.
LMGs. If I ever play with him though, he's going to be on tank duty because I'm literally just
He's
going to
that
have him.
guy.
I'm going to have him be that guy because I guarantee you put the 200 plus vehicle damage on an LMG. That's how we're going to be dealing with tanks because we're
Yeah.
probably going to be exclusively playing Dirty Bomb with him because he is not a fan of like general multiplayer. So
makes sense.
he's going to be vehicle duty guy for certain with that. But I think that was the pistols. I didn't really use any of the pistols. I was running a Spaz as my secondary.
Dude, the pistols were so fun.
The pistols were good.
So
I
did
love
you guys
having
use
good
all the pistols? Because I only used the 1911. I didn't use the
The
the six shot, the
whatever it
6
was.
round.
Yeah, the RK7.
Yeah. I mean, they were fine, but the 1911 was the best pistol.
For sure.
Was it?
It felt
Because
so
I
clean.
was getting
Dude,
briefly destroyed by a revolver.
what? No.
No,
I mean, that guy was just probably godly then, or whatever. I don't know. But the 1911 was
I was
insane.
getting like 2-shot with the
I
revolver.
I legitimately played some games 1911 only just because it was so fun.
Yeah, going back to like some Black Ops 2 stuff with the
Dude, literally, the TAC 9s. From
Yeah,
I thought it was
were
the TAC. Was it the TAC 9 or was it the TAC 11? TAC 9.
Yeah, yes, I don't know.
TAC 9, the 57 or the 57 was also really good. All
I think it's TAC 9.
you know,
TAC 45.
yeah, I think-
TAC 45.
Act 45. Oh my
There you go.
gosh.
Dude, that was.
that
I
what
mean,
it
that's
was?
basically 1911 in this game.
Right.
But like,
Yeah.
thing was godly. I can't imagine the damage like someone like Simp's going to do, sniping with just a 1911 in his pocket. Like,
Yeah.
that's better than any pistol that Modern Warfare had by a mile.
Oh yeah, the Modern Warfare pistols had way too much recoil. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, they didn't shoot very fast. They didn't do that much damage. Like these,
Yeah, it was awful.
the pro's going to do damage with the 1911 if it's like that when the
Mhm.
game comes out.
Yeah,
It's gonna
and
be interesting.
so like I was using the Spaz pretty much entirely. That's the full auto shotty.
Gosh.
the
Of course
Spaz.
you were.
Of course.
Of
It's
course
the
you
best
was.
secondary you can have, dude. Let's be honest here.
gonna
And
get
like you
banned.
could run
Oh,
12
no.
bullets in the chamber with that thing. To be honest though, shotguns 100% need to be moved back to a primary. It's ridiculous that they're a
Agreed.
secondary.
Yeah, for sure.
And then
It
move
worked
the
in-
move
it worked in
move.
BO4.
Yeah, because the shotguns were pretty bad in BO4. Like
You had
really
to have a lot of
bad.
attachments.
Like they
But
were
when you had-
really
when you had
bad in
When
BO4.
you had a 5-kitted attachment shotgun in BO4, though, they were insane. But that's
Yeah.
how
Yeah,
they
but you
should
needed
be.
5 attachments on it.
Yeah, that's fine.
And you get, and that was on a point system though, Josh, in BO4.
True.
You get 5 attachments for free.
Yeah,
in this
that is
game.
actually stupid. Like
So
that is
and the issue with I have at the secondary is the single, like the pump shotgun doesn't kill in one pump.
oh yeah, that's terrible.
So like why, like give it the one pump. It's a shotgun, should kill in a shot.
The old one. Pump.
Realistically, it's not a full auto; it's a one pump. So move it. Like I think realistically, shotguns should be primaries.
I could
But
get it to
that's
shoot.
just me.
I could get it to one
That's
pump. Yeah, you're just bad. So.
I'm just bad. You can get to one pump.
Oh yeah, I was getting to one pump all day.
Sure you were. Sure you were.
I mean, I also like people called the Pellington the pellet gun, but I was also getting that to one shot all day. So I mean, you just got to get good, Nick. That's all I gotta say.
And like, look, well, we just saw the BO2 competitive tournament, and I know Josh, you rewatched champs or the grand finals for the BO2, and people were using shotguns in that, and it wasn't overpowered. People were using riot shields, and it wasn't overpowered in BO2. And I think one of the reasons, like, why the shotguns were balanced. I mean, even in that game, like looking at the spaz,
using the Remington in that game, that was overpowered.
Yeah, it was silly.
What are you talking about? They lost.
Not the hijacked hardpoint that he had like 45 kills with the Remington.
That was silly.
All right, you won the hard point, but I mean, you lost the S&Ds and stuff.
Yeah. No, Parasite, they won champs.
Yeah, I was about to say, Parasite won the throwback champs, right?
Yeah, you won throwback champs.
Well, he won champs and throwback champs in BO2.
Yeah, I'm talking about the one that Complexity won, the grand finals Complexity won, or not Complexity. Yeah,
Complexity. That's the roster that they went up, that Haggy went up against in the BO2 throwback tournament.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about
Karma, Crimsix,
yeah, the game. Or whatever. Okay. I didn't see the hijacked hardpoint with the Remington, but I saw the S&Ds with the Remington, and it wasn't that impressive.
Guns broken.
It's an extreme risk reward weapon. You're getting a kill and you're dying, pretty much guaranteed. If you don't get the kill, then you're just dying. That's kind of how a shotgun works. You either hit your shot or you're dead. And if you do hit your shot and there's someone else there, you're dying.
Shotguns have no place in competitive COD.
It's entirely debatable.
No,
I think
it's not even debatable.
Do you want to play S&D, jump around the corner and get one tapped by a shotgun?
Nope.
No.
Absolutely not.
Does that sound fun?
There should be.
Do you want to be the one sitting in the corner with the shotgun? Nick, don't answer that.
There's SMGs, there's ARs, and then there's a mixture between the two, and then you got snipers for search. That's all I want. That's all I ever want. I don't care about anything else.
I don't think you'll see a lot of shotguns, even if they were allowed.
No. No.
They were. I honestly don't think you will.
Stop it.
I 100% don't think shotguns are as good as pros think they are.
Using rush strats and S&D for sure.
Oh, 100%.
It would be toxic AF.
Yeah, imagine.
Can you imagine a BZ in a vent on Gunrunner with a shotgun?
I was literally about to say that. I was like, imagine the tiny terrors running around with one pumps.
Dude, terrifying.
Just, oh man.
They ain't missing.
No, absolutely not. Like, Nick, you're out of
your
your mind.
guys' imagination works a lot differently than mine.
Yeah, because we're realistic about comp.
Could you imagine Simp running around with a bulldog like in Ghost nowadays?
God,
be insane.
Yeah, no thanks.
I think the fully auto shotguns, like in BO2, the fully auto shotty in that one worked really well because there was a second delay between like the bursts because you would get the 4 bursts off and then you had to like wait a second for it to cycle,
right?
And then you get the next 4. So I feel like that's probably a better way to go if you're gonna go with the full auto shotty, because
the shotguns in BO2 are so good, but like when you play pubs in BO2, you didn't really feel like they were overpowered though, but they were so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean,
like the KSG, that thing was insane.
It's also hard to compare.
KSG, you had to hit them with that, otherwise you were doomed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But that thing could hit from like AR ranges.
Just such fun guns.
Yeah, I mean we're comparing
the spaz could maybe use a slight nerf. I'm thinking, and I definitely don't think they should be secondaries. I think shotties need to be primaries. Otherwise they just like nerf them into the ground, and there's like no point. It's like, why would you use a shotty if you have these pistols that are really good?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about the guns? Like attachments, I wasn't crazy about the 50 million attachment combinations for the most part.
I did like the whenever you pressed R1 when you were in the main screen and you could see like what all the percentages did. That was
Yeah, I like
sick.
that you could see all the
That
percentages.
was
That was
actually really really nice.
real nice.
Duster stock is OP even at like the 5% slide speed or whatever. I don't know what they were thinking of. Past that, I mean,
There's just a best combination. Like, I don't know why. I don't understand like this idea of you can put the attachments to fit your play style. Okay, well, I made my SMG and AR. Why don't I just use an AR? What? Like, it does the job that it's supposed to do. Why am I
Yeah,
making a
that's
gun
the
do a
thing.
job it's not supposed to do? Like,
Competitively, it's like I definitely prefer a multi-gun meta, but like with this many attachments, there's no point. Because it's
literally
like
no point.
you can just change any gun, the best gun in the game, to play a little bit slower, a little bit faster, depending on the map,
Right.
with just a certain different attachment or a stock or something, and then now you have a different gun. You know,
it
like it's not
it
as fun
it
competitively.
it doesn't change anything. Like, I would like to see the stats, and I honestly think that the only reason they're seeing people use a variety of attachments in pubs is because people are like too confused. They're like, "What the hell is going on? There's all these attachments. I'll just throw this shit on." And that's like what happens. Like, they don't actually put any thought into it. It's probably like 5-year-olds that just got like an Xbox for Christmas or something, and they just like threw on a bunch of attachments. They're like, "Yeah, this feels good. I'll just use this." Like, that's probably what's happening, because anyone that actually has an IQ above 3 is throwing on whatever is gonna make their gun perform the best. And if like they're turning their assault rifle into an AR, you just put on an AR and put the attachments on that make that AR better.
I
Like,
mean,
what?
once you like get into the competitive scene, you just put on whatever everybody else is using.
Right.
It
I
plain and
think the
simple.
majority of like pub stompers, like people who just enjoy pubs though, they're trying out different things and
True.
they have their whatever gun their favorite YouTuber uses is the one that they're using.
We didn't even talk about the M16.
It's gonna get banned. There's no way that gun's gonna be
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
comp.
there's an. I don't know how you guys were using it, but I was using that thing like an SMG, because there was an attachment that literally just straight up upped its damage.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's
It was
just so much
OP.
stupid stuff that you could put
Like,
on
they
that.
had the 3-round burst, or was it a 4-round burst
You could
SMG, the
increase
last
the rate of
one?
fire. Yeah, I didn't use that.
I didn't use I used that a couple games. I'm like, wait, this is just a worse version of the M16 with
Yeah.
this
Dude,
damage
literally.
attachment.
Literally, dude.
No, the M16 was stupid overpowered, and if it gets anywhere near comp, it's ruined. Like
Well,
the whole
attack rifles
season's
have,
ruined.
like, I don't think ever been in comp since that
Yeah,
category has existed.
that's true. That's true. And
The Type 63 must have gotten nerfed to hell though, because I didn't see a single one of those in the beta.
Yeah, they nerfed it in the beta.
yeah, because that thing was dumb in the
Although
alpha.
Tony Flame said it's gonna be back. It's gonna get buffed again.
Well, I mean,
The whole attack rifles category is probably banned for competitive though.
Oh,
So
for sure.
I
don't think too much of an issue there.
catch me in pubs. Psych.
I
Yeah.
would really like to see like the pros play seriously with everything enabled for like a month and see what happens. And then like
No.
after that month, like
Okay,
not
yeah.
like just take it 100% serious so that we can actually make a reasoning on banning stuff, and we don't have to have all these stupid GAs 50 days or like 5 months into a season
Okay,
and just
boom.
like throw shit out the window that might not even be that
Yeah,
OP.
right.
Like what happened with the AUG or whatever
No, yeah, that was
in
obnoxious.
towards like the end of Modern Warfare. But
When we get to a
I
point
think
when we're banning guns just because,
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
just because we don't want to use a gun that's better, even though it's another SMG that's just better. Like,
yeah, and I know this is something I brought up, but I would just like to see like a category ban, like instead of like individual guns, just
I
ban the
agree.
entire category.
True.
I think that's the cleanest way to do it is to ban a whole category.
Yeah, I'm sure the devs would like that too whenever they go to eventually put league play into this game.
Right. And I mean,
This
again, this game not having any ammo changing like what Modern Warfare did, that's a great decision.
Yes,
You
for
know,
Yeah.
sure.
the
That's a
ammo
smart
changes,
decision.
the ammo attachments were just made things too insane in
Yeah.
Modern Warfare, and so I think it should be a little bit like simpler of a GA process this year.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but there was the flinch reduction, even though flinch doesn't exist as like an attachment. But I was throwing that on because it was
weird.
reducing the shaky cam, and I'm like, I hate this shaky cam. I'm just throwing this on because.
Yeah.
Honestly, they need to add flinch back to snipers because I mean,
Dude.
not that I really care because I won't be running around with quick scopers and everything. But I mean, if snipers, if this isn't the sniper year, I don't know when it is. In competitive, it also needs to get added because
it's gonna be insane. Because like, imagine you're like again, simp just ADSing down a line of sight, and then Octane.
Well, okay. So like, here's the thing with: do you want flinch on the snipers, or do you want to get rid of aim assist on the snipers? Because if you put back like the flinch thing, then pros are gonna be like complaining about, oh, you just snapped to my head because of the flinch.
Who cares if they snapped on your head if they don't miss the shot?
Yeah, no, I'd much rather.
That's literally like what crows have been complaining about flinch for whatever. They're like, dude, I lost the gunfight because I shot first and he got flinch and it went straight to my head.
I don't think pros are saying that. Maybe pub stompers.
Every pro I have heard has complained about flinch having the gun jolt up to their head, and so they lose the gunfight because they shoot first. Every pro.
Speaking of, what about this negative recoil that's on like almost all of the guns in this? That's just really weird. How it like whenever you're shooting, it actually goes down instead of up. Really weird.
Yeah, there's some weird recoil patterns. I didn't know how to feel about it.
Were you just shooting straight at a wall?
Yeah, I mean, we tested a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't really want to get into it because I don't want anybody else to have what we have. But but we've seen some really cool things. Yeah, I mean, we can't share everything, but there is a lot of negative recoil on guns, and it's made things a little bit weirder. But it's been fun. We've gotten used to it for sure. And
there's also some weird ADS like camera movement in this game that really bothers me. Like
we've also
I don't know. There's the ADSs. There was a little whack in this game, and again, we haven't even talked about like the base movement speeds of like ADS and sprint out speeds and strafing speeds are all way too slow. Mantling and throwing nades, the recovery to be able to ADS way too slow.
You can yeet nades across the map.
You can yeet nades.
Oh my god, I feel like
it's crazy.
Yeah, you can throw nades.
I feel like I'm an outfielder, just throw it at the home.
It's like you're just yeeting the nades.
Oh my god.
Or Homelander.
Yeah, exactly. Which I mean, at least they're better than the alpha, because the alpha was the absolute worst. The nades were terrible. You go to pick back up a
the
nade.
nades wouldn't kill you.
Oh yeah, they were awful. But the nades weren't terrible in this one. Flak Jacket was OP. Flak Jacket was stupid busted. You sat up in that tower in Cartel with Flak Jacket on. You didn't even need a trophy. Like, all right,
this is the big problem with wild cards is that like now
True.
every pub stomper can have tack, flak, ghost, ninja. Like they're decked out.
I mean, pretty much, I was exclusively running 6 perks once I had the option.
Oh yeah.
It was just way too too nice.
I guess it's just
because I mean, you don't really need any. You don't really need 2 perk 2s. You just needed 2 perk 3s and 2 perk 1s because you would get flak and tack and ghost and ninja.
Right, and then now suddenly you're an invisible tank on the map.
Yep.
Sounds
fun.
What?
I mean,
like, dude, the UAVs will be useless because everyone will have ghost in pubs.
I mean, that's usually how it is.
Yeah, that's true.
In pubs,
maybe
until like at least at the start of the game, until not everyone is always running a UAV, then like less people run ghost, and that's where you find like that nice middle ground.
Right. I mean, but there's always a balance of like people who didn't want to use the 2 perk 3s to have ghosts and like dead silence in past games.
Getting rid of the point system definitely opens up like a can of worms of where people can just kind of be OP without any like they don't have to pick and choose. They can just kind of be busted.
Yeah, it's like, all right, here you go. Here's 6 perks and 5 attachments on your primary and 5 attachments on your secondary. Yeah, just go nuts, man.
Your secondary.
Yeah, exactly. Like
the Lawbreaker one was interesting too because that was the one that gave you overkill, but you could also take multiple perks from the same category.
Right. You could go like I think you could go even 3 perks in the same
So
category.
I saw a lot of you could go 3 perks from spy. So I saw a lot of people going like flat jacket, tack mask with like ghost, and they were just getting rid of their perk 2 because perk
Yeah,
2 was
'cause
pretty much
perk 2 is
useless.
useless.
It
for
was
sure.
like scavenger,
And assassin.
assassin,
Yeah.
tracker, and
I'm glad
what was
they
the
Right.
I'm
fourth?
glad they fixed tracker. Modern Warfare's tracker was really OP.
And BO4.
I've
Yeah,
I've
NBA
always
Force.
thought tracker's kind of been not that great.
Tracker is insane in Warzone. Like,
I don't play Warzone.
or not.
So.
Well, okay. Well, then
What was the first game it
Then
was in?
shut the hell up.
BO3.
Yeah,
BO3. It was in BO. Josh, you don't even play Warzone anymore.
No, I don't.
No, he plays
It
COD.
was in BO3 and it was in BO4, and I never felt like it was.
I'll
really
suffer on CDL
overpowered in those
playlist any
games.
day.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, is it available in CDL playlist?
No,
Jack?
I'll
No.
suffer on CDL
Okay.
playlist instead of play Warzone.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay.
yeah, I'd much rather play
But
CDL
yeah,
playlist
do you want to
than Warzone.
talk, I guess, briefly about the perks? Or I guess we can open up the discussion to probably the most controversial thing, which is the field upgrades.
Oh, field upgrades.
Since I know, Josh, everything in this game has a counter. This is the one thing that I do like. And the one thing I don't know, your rant about the field mic,
OP.
which is essentially a Black Ops 1
right.
motion sensor, which I ran exclusively in
stupid.
BO1.
OP.
And all
No.
you need to do is have dead silence. You're already running dead silence because
No,
you guys
doesn't
don't like
work.
being sound horde.
Does that work?
Nope.
Yes.
Nope. Didn't
Yes,
even
it
work.
does.
You
Dude,
still
I
show up.
swear
You
it
still
doesn't
show up on
work.
the map. You still show up. Like,
Are you 100% sure?
I have.
Well, again, dead silence.
Because
doesn't-
I had a lot of
Okay.
people not showing up on my field mic because they had dead silence.
Of course, you were running a field mic.
Of
God,
course,
what a
it was
boomer.
good.
Because it was OP.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, if you're not running Ninja.
I
Oh, wait,
ran.
okay, well, the problem. So maybe it's because if you slide, Ninja doesn't silence your
Oh,
movement.
yeah,
Therefore,
maybe.
Well, then
show
don't
up on
be a
the field
slidey bitch.
dude.
Stop doing
Why doesn't Ninja silence your slides?
because
at
you're
all?
being a movement whore.
What?
Nah. Capping.
Like,
I-
it makes no sense. What's
mean-
the point of running? What's the point of running it if the whole meta is to slide around a corner?
Don't
Exactly.
slide around a corner. It's the counter to sliding, Josh. Oh no, there it is.
Yeah, but
That's
it's
it.
not
I don't know about sliding. I honestly don't know kind of like what it is picking up and what it's not. I just know for a fact that some people were not getting picked up by the field mic, so there is at
silence
least
does
some
not
kind of
mute
clear
your
counter
slide at all.
to it. Additionally, like engineer was a perk too, which was extremely helpful for finding where field mics were or where
Yeah,
any
that
kind
was
of
right.
equipment was, and destroying that immediately if you
Yeah.
wanted to,
I mean, again,
or
from a
something
competitive
along those lines.
perspective, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on trophy systems and the cooldown periods and how that could play out. Like, do you
Oh,
think
trophy
more
systems
trophy
100%
systems-
need to be a tactical. It should not
Right.
be like
'Cause
the
otherwise,
the
no
field
one on the map's
upgrades.
gonna have a trophy for the first minute and 20 seconds of a hard point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talking about like competitive, like trophies need to be tactical, but and field upgrades should be probably completely banned for competitive, just because I know pros are going to complain about. And so I guess this goes to like everything had a lot more of a counterplay in Blops 2, and even Blops 1, everything had like a counterplay. Like Hacker, if you ran that, you could see trophy systems and you could not be detected by them at all in BO1. So like if like you ran into a guy that had trophies, you just switch your class to a hacker class or whatever, and you were perfectly fine. And he would probably get pissed off because you would probably kill him over and over again. In this game, it's not like as much. And in BO2 as well, they had the counter to counter UAVs, which pissed me off a bunch in the Cold War
Right.
beta, and the counter to EMPs, which was hardwire, which neutralize those effects. And so I think one, hardwire needs to be a perks. I think they bring in EMPs, and then you have a lot of counterplay to a lot of the things that are in the game. To be honest, if Ninja does its job and completely like silencing you from field mics, then that's the counter to field mics. And If you have hardwire, that counters you to like EMP effects and jammers, probably, because that was another thing that you could do to like kind of counter field mics, is you could like jammers.
Oh my gosh, Nick. What were you doing in this game, dude?
I didn't run I was playing the game. I was using shit.
It's dumb. It's dumb. No
Oh my
jammers,
God,
no
yeah.
field mics.
You classify it as dumb, and so you refuse to like try and
You added a
understand
field
how
mic,
to
you
use it
added
and
a
how to
jammer.
counterplay it.
It's like you add in a field mic, then you add in a jammer to counter the field mic.
Yeah, no, that's just
like getting a splinter in your left eye and putting a splinter in your right eye.
What do you? It's
Alright,
literally
so-
what you could do.
See, the only good
Oh,
point.
so now I have as much pain in my right as my left. Perfect.
No, I'm saying you run Ninja to counter field mics, and if someone's using a
Yeah.
jammer, you have the hard wire
I have a lot of
perk.
pain in my left
to
eye.
counter
I don't
the
have
jammer.
any pain in my right eye. I should probably put a needle in my right eye.
If you give people the ability to choose stuff to counter what people are playing, then it creates a meta game, and it gives like people the ability to
the
adapt.
splinter out of the eye.
Yeah,
Ripping right out.
Yeah.
No field mics, no jammers.
field upgrades are silly, and trophies should definitely be a tactical. If you're putting a grenade as a frag that you spawn with every single
Field
life, then you
upgrades
should
is really
spawn with a
equipment
trophy
from
every
BO1.
single life.
Field upgrades are actually just equipment from BO1 with a
Cooldown.
timer on them.
Yeah, which is silly. So just get rid of them because they're silly.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. But are they really going to change trophies to field upgrades though? I mean, to tactical?
No, absolutely not.
They need to though, because of like they need to though, is like is the thing. Because just
Everybody
nades
spawns the nade,
and
yeah.
tags.
Right. I mean,
And I
again,
don't want nades.
Warfare,
I don't want nades and tacticals to be on a cooldown, because like to try and balance it, like that's what it was in BO4, and it
in BO4.
didn't feel great.
No, it didn't feel like God.
And
Like,
so
Probably in
100%.
Modern Warfare, you could get a trophy like how fast? Pretty freaking
True.
fast.
Yeah, tune up
You know-
allowed you to get trophies pretty quick.
Trophies really fast. It's like in this, you'd have two people running trophies, and so you could have 2 trophies every 30 seconds,
Yeah,
maybe less.
roughly.
depending on how fast guys are getting kills. But
Yeah.
in this, it's like even if 4 people are running trophies, and so everyone on the map runs a trophy, and you get one every a minute and 20 seconds. Like, is that enough trophies? And they're so easy to destroy in this game, where they were a lot harder to destroy.
And they're not.
I think they're the proper difficulty to destroy in this game. I
agree.
think they were too difficult in MW,
True.
but it kind of like made sense because you had the timer.
Yep.
Even though I think it was a lot less in MW than it was in this.
This game are a lot easier to destroy.
And they
Yeah.
have a less area of effect
Usages.
radius. Yeah,
Oh.
usages too. Yeah, like they're a
It's,
lot more balanced.
It's like 3 usages, I think,
Yeah.
in this one.
The problem is either the cooldown needs to get like lowered to like 40 seconds, and then all 4 players run trophies, and then maybe it's fine. But the nade spam, like at the beginning of the game, is gonna be really annoying still. But, I
True.
mean, that's kind of what it was in Modern Warfare 2. But
Yeah.
I just am not a huge fan of like nades. But like something that I've said for quite a bit now is that people need to choose between either nades
a nade
or a
yeah,
stun.
yeah.
Or like
I-
a lethal or a tactical. Like that
agree.
that needs to be a choice. And then you can have your wild card to break that rule. And like, I think
Sure.
it needs to go back to a point system, in all honesty. Otherwise you
agree.
kind of just have super soldiers running around the map that don't need to like actually think about what they're doing or make any decision. Like there is no decision making
it's just
in
only-
this game outside of, oh, this guy has a field mic. Okay, I'll throw on Ninja. Or everyone in the world is going to be running a fucking UAV, so I'm going to be running Ghost.
Right.
There's pretty much no decision making because, all right, any field equipment or whatever, you just have engineer, and that person just goes and destroys that with their Ninja and their Ghost, and then their scavenger with their flat jack tactical mask. Like that's pretty much what everyone should probably be running if they want to actually not get cheesed, quote unquote, in like pubs. And then like the guns, every gun's like valid pretty much. So I guess that like that I think like the guns is probably like the best part about this game so far, because the maps
agree.
there's glaring issues there. And then the perk system, or I guess the way you make classes with the perk system and the field upgrades, there are some issues there where I think some things need to be added and moved around to make the game better.
Agreed. The biggest problem for me is if they can just tweak the movement to feel a little bit smoother, then the core of the game is really good, in my opinion. But then we're back to how to work
What issues do you guys have? Because like for me, I'm just doing basic G slides and jump shotting around corners, and that's like about it. I'm not doing these crazy slide cancel slide jump, shag yourself.
Well, the slide
fucking
cancel almost got unmeted by the end of the beta, like because the slide jump was so good.
Is
Like,
that
you
just
weren't slide
jumping and
canceling
sliding
as much.
over and over again?
It was just sliding instead of slide canceling around a corner. You're slide jumping around a corner.
Yeah, which was insanely busted. Like the movement is insane in this one. I actually really like where it is right now. I think that it gives the SMGs a really good opportunity to.
I just don't want to have
close.
to deal with people bunny hopping everywhere.
It's.
I'll be honest, I kind of miss it.
I do
hate
miss it.
bunny hopping. Stop it.
But it will be interesting to see breakouts.
I want to
when
turn you into fucking rabbit stew.
Oh my gosh, that's the movement's part of the
It's
game.
not Easter, bitch. Get out of here.
The last thing I want is somebody to just sit around on a heady with an AR and just say, "All right, this is my lane. Come take it from me."
Yeah, I don't
without
want people
any sort
double
of movement.
jumping everywhere though.
I wanna have an opportunity to close the distance.
Better than BO2, and BO2 had the best movement. It was just so smooth. Everything about it.
Was there bunny hopping in BO2?
No, but the jump shot was so smooth. The drop shot worked great. Shout out, no drop shot in Black Ops Cold War.
Yep.
Like,
there's literally no black.
Do you
I got
like
drop
that
shot
there's a
once,
drop
and I was
shot?
like,
no, it annoys me. I want a drop shot.
Oh, okay.
I don't mind it either way.
I mean, BO4, like, the drop shot was straight garbage in that game too. But like,
yeah.
I felt like that was count. I don't know. I don't know why it didn't bother me much in that game as it bothers me in this one.
Well, there's also the shot punch in BO4.
Yeah, I think that made a difference.
That was like your thing, your go-to. I mean, I don't know if shot punch is the right thing to put in this game to
it still kind of works.
That it still kind of does. Like it works with the MP5 for sure.
Yeah,
you could ask anybody that played against me. But I mean, that's kind of where I say, all right, yeah, there's no drop shot, but I mean, we still have kind of like a shot punch, and that's kind of what you do in that sort of situation anyway. Is you get the quick kill and you move forward. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, for me, it's like they just need to smooth up the like I mentioned the speed up the base times for all of like the small movement stuff when it comes to sprint out speed and stuff.
True.
But the game, all of the advanced attachments felt really clunky. Once you got all the advanced attachments on, it didn't feel too bad when you were like increasing sprint out speeds and ADS times by 20+%. Like I think those base times need to be at least moved a little bit, like maybe by 10% or more, to really create like a smoother experience when it comes to like gunfights and ADS and movement. I just think
like when you don't have attachments.
Well, I just think overall the base speed needs to get moved up in itself. The AR stray speed is the slowest.
I thought the speed was like the ADS speed or the speed you move at, because I thought the speed you move at was fine.
The speed you move at is fine. It's more like the smoothest, how quickly you can ADS after doing things, like after throwing a stun or after using a score streak or after mounting or mantling. I mean, or after jumping or whatever it is, like the ADS speed, the delay to ADS was obnoxious. And then like the sprint out speed, ADS after sprinting.
I mean,
I don't
know. I don't think the ADS speed from mantling and that should be like crazy fast. You're climbing over a fucking box.
Crazy slow.
Yeah,
I can't tell you how many times I had a guy climb over something in like BO4 and I just got eviscerated.
It's your shots.
Yeah, you just gotta hit your shots. But I mean, like, it's impossible.
I'm shooting the guy as he's climbing over a wall, and I die.
It's impossible to win a mantle battle in Cold War. It's impossible. Yeah. Like, I mean, you can't even land a single shot on him.
Probably should be near impossible.
No, I think you should have a. It shouldn't be impossible. It should be like
you should have like a 30%. You should have a 30% chance of winning a gunfight if you're mantling over someone pre-aiming a window. And I guarantee in BO4, my chance of winning that gunfight pre-aiming someone mantling on me was I had 20% chance of winning that gunfight.
I feel that. I have a bigger issue with the delay after you're throwing stuns, nades, using field upgrades, and using score
True.
streak. Because like sometimes you have no idea guys coming. You call in your UAV and then do a dead silence runs around the corner. You had no idea, and now you're screwed because you like the delay after using the UAV is so long. So those are the frustrating things for me.
We haven't talked about score streaks yet.
Oh, we haven't talked about score streaks yet.
Yeah, I guess that's another. Big
I think I hope we all agree that is some hot
it
trash.
should be score streaks and it should reset on death.
Absolutely.
Plain and simple.
Yes.
I know.
What were they thinking?
I'm not that good at the game. I'm at least slightly above. I'm a slightly above average gamer. That's where I classify myself.
Yeah,
and I was still able to get not every game, but more often than I probably should have been able to get like an attack helicopter. And so like towards like the end of it, I know you didn't. You said in your podcast, Josh, like you didn't run the airstrike or whatever to destroy stuff in the air.
Yeah,
I was the guy running that towards the end of the
gosh.
game because I would get people calling in freaking chopper gunners. I'm like, nah, fuck you in particular. Get out of my skies. And it made my playing experience. It made my playing experience so much more enjoyable. Just knowing I cucked that guy over.
In a kill race. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, honestly though, that's actually
because
comedy.
those things last forever, and it was always on satellite. So it's like, where am I supposed to go?
Bro, yeah, it's absurd. I can't.
And the stupid sand turrets don't do shit.
Yeah, they do nothing. I don't know what they were thinking with that either. But what were they thinking with these score streaks? What did they think was going to happen? Like, of course, there's going to be kill streak spam in the second half of every single game. There's like 2 chopper gunners in every game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always in the second half. And like you technically like could see that in older games, but that was only if like people weren't dying and it went into the second half, and that's like when everyone got their streak. But in this one, it's like just everyone's always getting their streaks because it's just so easy to get them.
Yeah.
Unless you're just like actually really bad at the game.
I really hope that we don't go another year without score streaks in comp.
I don't want kill streaks. I want specifically score streaks.
I want score streaks. I don't care if they reset on death or not in comp, but we're gonna have to limit which ones we're allowed to have.
I mean, they have to reset on death in comp.
Otherwise, yeah. I mean, everybody gets them, but I mean, if everybody gets them, then it doesn't seem like that broken, and it seems like it.
Really? Yeah, but do you really want to see like 7 Hellstorms in a hard point?
I mean,
like at that point, it just gets annoying.
It takes up.
Yeah.
Well, no. Here's the thing. Like, we had specialists for Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, and those
took you like a whole game to get that though.
And it'll take you basically a whole game of competitive to get the 2 or 3 score streaks that you're allowed to have.
Maybe not. I mean, you could probably get 3 lightnings in one game potentially if a guy's having like a 30+ kill game in hardpoint.
But even then, that would be pretty exciting at least.
But it would be 10 times better if they were getting them when they were resetting on death.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
it would be more fair and feel more deserved.
Yeah, it'd be a lot more. If you get them reset on death, it's momentum. And like storylines for casters is like, oh, this team's building momentum. So it's just better for like the gameplay experience and the viewer experience, I feel, because you can kind of see that story unfolding.
5 kill streak on the rotation. Here we go. Let's hop on board. Like
instead of like, oh, hey,
2 kills away from his chopper gunner.
Krim just died for the 40th time, but he only needs 1 more kill to get his lightning strike.
Hey, you're sitting on top of Krim for 10 minutes waiting for him to get his final kill so that he can use his lightning strike.
Right. No, I don't disagree. Here's the thing, like as long as we have score streaks in some sort of capacity, I'll be happy. But right now, I'm a little nervous for sure. I think everybody is.
Yeah, especially because the score streaks, like you have the lightning.
That one's
there's going to be a Hellstorm.
What else? What even is there? There's not. There's going to be a Hellstorm.
There has
obviously,
to be.
But
they showed it in a trailer.
Oh, okay,
did they?
gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, as long as those 2 are in there, if they throw in like a Thresher or something like that, that'll be fine.
Oh yeah, because like most of the streaks right now, obviously the pros are going to want them banned. You're not going to have a chopper gunner.
No,
you're not going to have
none of that crap.
no
They don't want any
napalm.
streak that uses automatic control. You know,
Right.
so
Yeah.
it has to be manual.
Yeah, because you want to.
And the weird thing too is, like I noticed this starting in like BO3, but it wasn't that bad in BO3 because like the rocket launcher that you had, it had 4 rockets in it. But they're making these streaks a lot more difficult to take down. Like I'm thinking Black to Bops 2, dude. It was
Yeah, you're the expert in this
it
category.
was
Oh
hella
my
easy
gosh.
to take down. Like
Back in my day.
Cobras took 1 rocket, and escort drones took 2 rockets. And like and then the Thrasher,
I can't tell you the last time I said
that thing it would take 3 rockets to take down a Thrasher. But you had Black Hats that like also helped to take those things down.
Right, you could hack godly streaks.
Well, it would just destroy it. It wouldn't take
Right.
it over for you like it would in BO3. But like
Oh, yeah,
Thrasher, the strat was you would Black Hat twice, shoot a rocket, and it was gone. And like even that thing, it wasn't like terrible. It was just going like straight lines across the map.
Right.
You wouldn't die a lot unless like you were out in the open, and there was a decent amount of cover in most Blops 2 maps. But like escort drone, bro, you get that thing, it's like okay, yeah, you get like 5 kills with it, and then like me and my rocket launcher come along and put it down. It wasn't like terribly difficult. You look at BO2 or BO3 streaks, I'm using like 6 fucking rockets to take down
Yeah,
Raps.
some of these are nuts. And BO4.
Like to
And
take down
BO4, yeah.
Raps, I literally would say, "Fuck using a rocket launcher. I'm using my I'm using my Hellstorm to take this thing down because that's the only thing that would kill it fast enough."
Right. I mean,
And then it was like Modern Warfare was the worst game I have ever played for taking down streaks. You had a VTOL that was like 7 fucking kills, and it took 5 fucking rockets when you
Yeah.
only got 2.
That thing would kill you through roofs.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
how
it
many
would
times do you want me to
burn you.
die to this stupid thing for Campy Jim and his
How is that in
freaking
the
sweet
competitive
jerking
setup?
it off while he goes on this 9 kill streak? Like, good lord. The guy doesn't even have a motion sensor and he's doing this shit.
Oh my gosh, this sounds like a COD retirement home. Oh my gosh.
Is
So
that you?
yeah, old Grandpa Nick over there. All right, so
Bruh, if I post up with a motion sensor, I at least have the class of. Oh my gosh.
no, I think that the score streaks in this one, the War Machine's OP. That will definitely
You
need to
don't
get nerfed
take.
somehow.
Oh, that's another thing. Good. I'm so glad you brought this up,
OP.
Kevin. Why the fudge do you not take explosive damage from your own damn War Machine?
Yeah,
I don't know, bro. I don't know. But dude, sometimes it wouldn't even kill the guy. Like there was
They probably had flat jacket, right?
No, it wouldn't even register. This
Yeah.
happened multiple times.
Okay.
Right.
Well, certainly they didn't have that issue when it was killing me.
Right. There was multiple times where I literally shot a dude, didn't even register. The thing like blew up right underneath him. I'm like, what is happening?
yeah, I had that a couple times as well. There's a lot of inconsistencies, but I mean, a noob tube that has 12 shots that doesn't kill you
And it doesn't
on impact.
like, oh my.
Yeah, and there's no timer
If
to
you
it.
die with it though,
Yeah,
it
there's no
disappears,
time
doesn't
limit.
it?
No, yeah, when you die, it ends. Like,
yeah.
there's no time limit on it either.
Well, I don't think there should be a time limit on it, but there should probably be less shots.
Yeah, like
There should
6
be
shots.
6 shots.
6 shots.
Like
Maybe
that's what it
less.
was. That's what it was in BO2, and I hate like keep on referencing BO2
Because
because
it's
yeah,
all time.
BO2 best game ever made.
Yeah, because it is.
But like BO2, it was 6 shots.
The
as
best
well.
balanced God for sure.
I think
Yeah,
I
probably.
think the War Machine should be 6 shots. It's just
100%.
like
12 was outrageous. You could run around for like 5 minutes with that thing. Get like 8 or 9 kills or 10 kills. Like what?
I would love to see the clip where a guy hit 12, like went 12 for 12 with the War Machine.
Oh, you know there's guys out there that did that
I
and down
know.
like probably 15 plus kills with it.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so sick. Yeah, that gun was, or that streak was way too good.
That's one of the best streaks I've ever seen in COD.
Best, yeah, user streaks, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Probably.
Yeah, it's up there with like dogs.
The Death
How good it
Machine
is.
in BO2.
Dogs?
you were
Which
saying?
game dogs?
Not World at War dogs. Those that was a little too OP. Maybe like Black Ops 2 dogs. Black Ops 1
Black Ops
dogs.
2 dogs were pretty good.
Terrifying.
BO1 dogs.
BO1 dogs
Well,
were pretty good.
BO1, you just ran Ghost Pro and you were immune to like anything.
Right.
And also like the knifing in BO1 was a lot easier to pull off the like if the dog would come at you, you
Oh
could
yeah, that was
counterplay
tough
by
in
knifing
BO2.
them. But it was a lot harder in BO2 because
Really
like the
tough.
knifing was pretty bad in BO2 all around.
Right. Yeah, now there's not even a knife. You got to melee with your gun and stuff like that.
Yeah. They have the knife, but
Yeah, it's a secondary all on its
Right.
own.
yeah.
We could still see that meta for competitive. The knife
What?
meta. The
Yeah.
knife
Knife meta?
secondary meta.
I mean, it's not bad, but the 1911's pretty nasty.
Right, but if you're running like an MP5 though, like you may we could see this. Are we gonna see the smoke knife meta again?
Yeah, I want to see the tomahawk meta.
Dude, I was talking about that. Why
If
not?
I was a pro, I would run it just because like if I feel like I have a really good sense for where people are going to be,
Yeah.
I would just like preemptively toss it at like corners and stuff that people are going to be slide jumping their from around, and then I can be like, yeah, fuck you and your slide jumps.
It would.
Mm.
I'm a proponent of the tomahawk meta because it would only help competitive get more popular because people want to watch it.
True.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would love watching some good old tomahawk
At least-
Same thing.
kills, dude.
Same thing with
Yeah.
like the intervention. Imagine if the intervention was put into comp.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's just stuff that people really want to see. You know, like, oh, let's quick scope somebody. Oh, let's do this like crazy stuff. Stuff that people can't even possibly imagine doing on their own.
I mean,
Yeah, for
I
sure.
feel like if we were to convince someone, we could probably convince Simp to like take the tomahawk. He's already been like quick scoping people for the past 2 CODs, so
Yeah, like who needs a nade?
Yeah,
You
who
know?
needs a nade?
Nade's
yeah,
for
you got
the
3 other
tryhards.
teammates. They can carry a nade.
Yeah, you're trying way too hard.
He needs.
Come on, Simp, calm down.
They need to add ballistic knife to this game. No,
Dude,
shout out to
ballistic knife.
BO1.
I feel
Yeah,
like the
man,
pros
dude.
would die too fast to get the knife off though, like the shot.
Possible.
Possible, but I mean, it would be better than a shotgun at least. Like,
Yeah,
if
it
we're
would be
being
better
real.
than the one pump that currently doesn't kill in one pump. That's for certain. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that it would get banned eventually, but I mean,
Yeah.
Who
I mean,
knows?
BO2 days before Slasher. Now it's
The post slasher.
post
yeah,
slasher,
it's
everything after
Slasher
slasher.
COD.
We
everything.
all live in slasher's world, man.
Yeah, it's a sad world.
What?
Everything's GA'd. No
Alright,
one's
Nick.
having fun.
What we got? What we got next on the agenda?
I mean, I think that's everything, right? We talked
Really?
about maps, talked about guns, talked about
Streaks?
field upgrades, streaks, and perks.
We
I
didn't have
don't
to talk about operators. That's awesome.
operators like the characters you can play as.
Nah, I'm memeing.
Oh, I
There's
mean,
no
I just ran
operators.
as
Shout out
I-
FOV slider.
Shout out FOV slider. Shout out brightness.
Yeah, they finally gave us something so that PC players aren't as overpowered when they
Yeah,
play us.
FOV slider was
Dude, playing
Like
cross
that was
play
literally just a
GPs, wanna shoot
straight up
myself.
advantage for PC players.
Oh
They
my
can
word, it's
physically
insane.
see more than you. Like, how am I supposed to win against that?
There was literally
Uh,
some GBs you play in some cross platform GBs I played were like
Why were you ever playing cross-platform, dude?
one of my buddies plays on PC. That's why.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Is it Sam?
Yeah.
No,
well, no, now he does.
Rex.
Rex plays on
Rex,
cross.
Rex,
Yeah,
the
Rex
PC
does.
guy.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
the dirty PC player.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Everybody.
And yeah, so like there's literally moments where I'm like, I literally didn't even see this guy. He started shooting before he was even on my screen.
yeah,
You know?
especially
Like,
with
and not
Modern
just
Warfare
because of the
cameras.
cammering, not just because of the cammering though, because of the freaking FOV. I'm like, you gotta be joking. Like he was literally cammering me around stairways because of his FOV. I'm like, are you kidding me? It was insane.
Yeah, FOV slider is going to be very big, and I think that we've already kind of gotten some good settings that we're going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're
what
gonna
were
be-
you guys rocking? I think I was rocking the 105.
Yeah,
Um,
I was at 105 as well.
I was at 99, but
Oh, why not 100?
He didn't want to be 100%.
Nah, it was It was a shout out to Wayne Gretzky. That's all it was. But I wanted
wow.
we were all using 100s, but I used 99.
I mean, it'll either be 100 or 105. I think is going to be the competitive
For
kind of like
sure.
go-to on console.
We were using base boost. We were using
Yeah.
about 80 brightness. And then
Yeah.
I was
I
running.
I didn't fool around with audio. I think I just went probably 100 brightness.
I was running, I think 6.6 cents. No, or maybe
Yeah,
7.7.
I was 6.611.
Oh yeah, 1.1 for sure. I don't
I was
understand why
either
anybody would change
6.6
that.
or 8.8 because I hate odd numbers.
What?
Yeah,
You're
I mean,
weird.
well, also it's just it's annoying because they don't let you like go like incrementally down. I think it was only by 10s? It was either 0.9, 0.8,
Yeah, something like
0.7.
that.
That was annoying because like sometimes I would run a 166.95.
True.
And I was really liking that, but I went with 6.611.
Yeah,
So
I feel
yeah,
like
the settings were solid.
yeah, no, I like all the new settings and everything, and
I mean, realistically, like kind of your sensitivity and stuff, it's just what you get
yeah, it's whatever
accustomed to.
yeah, it's whatever you well for the most part. I mean, if
It's
you're
like if you're playing a high sense, it's going to take you a lot longer to warm up than it would if you're playing a more normal sensitivity. But
well, it also depends on what gun you're using and what kind of
Right.
ranges you're going at, and I mean,
What map you're playing on.
exactly. I mean, there's way too many factors that go
But
into it.
at the end of the day, a player finds their sensitivity and then sticks on it.
Right. Or there's sets of sensitivities.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah.
Man, I'm pretty
well,
satisfied.
yeah,
About
I guess
Cold War beta.
Black Ops 4, baby.
as Black Ops 4, what?
Black Ops Cold War.
Oh, Cold War. Okay, misheard you there. I guess as a recap of this episode, maps: Moscow looking good. Armada really fun. Just need to on the 66 maps. They need to put more focus on kind of the game types when they're designing them and get rid of these vastly large areas of the map in the far back that are mostly unused, probably 95% of the time. What was that, Josh?
12v12 shouldn't exist.
Yeah, bye.
12
Bye.
12 maps should not
12v12
overlap with
should not
66
exist.
maps. What, you said you liked Armada 12.
No, I like Ground War, not 12v12.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I liked 12v12. Armada, combined arms, domination. So
Good for you, Nick.
agree to disagree there. Guns looking good, all pretty viable. Just probably slightly nerf the MP5, slightly buff the AK-74U, and then all the guns are and nerf the M16.
Yeah.
So then all the guns are looking pretty good. The one pump shotgun, make it a one pump again. It's a pump. Give me my one pump. Then field upgrades, field mic, not OP, no matter what Josh says. Just run Ninja. Need to add some more perks. Give me Hardwire. I would like Hardwire a lot. It would definitely be beneficial. If Ninja does not protect you from field mics, make it so you know it does. I think it does. I don't. I think I kind of am fine with the sound production. Maybe make Ninja. I'm pretty sure
Again, Ninja needs to freaking silence slides,
Yeah,
dude.
it does.
If it doesn't silence slides, yeah, make it silence slides. That might just be because it doesn't completely silence sprint, and they might count sliding as
no,
an
bro.
end
I'm
of a
telling
sprint.
you, it's full sound. It's like
A full
zero
sound.
silence.
Okay, well, then they'll need to look into that and make it probably as quiet
effect.
as the sprint, or a little bit quieter than the sprint since you're slowing down. That change comes through. It's looking good there. Dirty Bomb is fun, and score streaks. Go back to score streaks.
Yes. Overall, in my opinion, it feels rushed. Like it needed another few months of tuning when it comes to like those small things. Like it just felt a little rushed, but I think it's an effect of them taking over this thing.
Yeah.
Late.
So is next year's? I guess this is a question. Is next year's COD going to be a Treyarch?
We don't know yet.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. So that's very interesting. But in Vaughn, we trust to have everything turn out okay with this one. So far, they've been pretty darn receptive of everything that's been said, and already the game's in a relatively good space. At least, if not for competitive, at least for pubs, it's in a pretty good space so far. Outside of the obvious issue with everyone kind of getting score streaks in the second half of games. But outside of that, everything's looking pretty solid in my opinion. Do you guys have any kind of closing remarks or things you want to bring up?
Well, supposedly, according to the Gaming Revolution, COD 2021 will be Sledgehammer.
Okay.
But that is only a rumor from the Gaming Revolution at this point. So
rumors are rumors. I guess we should put like a big old asterisk and disclaimer that all of Nick's ideas and opinions are from a casual player's perspective, and we shall be covering competitive COD eventually one of these days.
Just imagine if your grandpa picked up a controller and started playing COD.
Yeah,
what is this? This isn't Space Invaders.
I'm pretty sure I'm the youngest out of the three of us.
You might be.
No.
I just turned 25.
I'm 24.
Okay, well, Josh is the youngest.
I'm 26.
But I know I'm younger than Kevin over here.
Yeah.
So I don't...
But it's still fun to make fun of you, Nick, because you're
Nick's
such an
definitely
old
the
soul.
grandpa.
I don't think
boomer.
my crazy boomer, quote unquote, ideas are that crazy. I honestly think if we went into this with anarchy, down with the slasher totalitarian state, and see what happens with just everything allowed for a month, we would see that the things people think are OP aren't actually that.
No, I mean Slasher acts like a boomer than you do.
Yeah, he does. Well, I think this podcast has gone to shit, so we should probably just end it now.
Riot Shield, let's go.
Oh no.
All right, that's it for here. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Later.